Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we got a little bit more news about Royal Caribbean's next Discovery class, the brand new smaller class of cruise ship, and a little bit of hint to how long it may take to start seeing that cruise ship being built. We have the head of Princess Cruise Lines Asia Pacific calling, saying that he pledges to try and get more ships to the Australia region, but he needs some help. Also, we have a lawsuit that was settled against Carnival Cruise Line from an incident that happened in 2023, and the person was suing for $14 million. And we also have another change with Norwegian Cruise Line, and we have an increase in dining fees. And it's actually kind of like the first of its kind. It's been done before, but not this way. So Matthew Rutherford is recently been in charge of the Princess Cruise Lines Asia Pacific market, which of course includes Australia, New Zealand, and he has pledged to say that he wants to bring more Princess cruise ships to the area. He is vowing to work as hard as he can to have the company send more ships to that area. But he says he needs help. He needs help from governments to work with the cruise lines and don't just look at the one-time fees that they might make, right? By increasing taxes and port fees, it's a one-time chunk, but it can cause a ripple effect saying, well, if they're going to charge us more, we'll send less ships, which means the actual ports end up losing money overall. And so this is what he's trying to explain to the different government officials there. And he says he hopes to bring back the amount of ships where Princess was in its heyday of cruising in Australia. This year they have 2 ships. That's the lowest they've ever had. And now he's hoping to bring it back to where they had 5 ships of their fleet. That's 25% of their fleet sailing in the Australian waters. So we'll see if that all comes to fruition. Meanwhile, a judge in Miami has just ruled that Carnival Corporation was held liable for an accident where a woman tripped and ended up breaking her arm, dislocating a shoulder and tearing some tendons. Now, the incident happened apparently in a door sill that was improperly secured and not marked off. It was a gap between the carpet and the sill where her foot got caught in it. She tripped and had this happen to her. The judges ruled that they had time to mark this, they had time to fix it, and they failed to do so. And so they held the company liable. Now, she was suing for $14 million for a broken arm and dislocated shoulder and tendon. That's a heck of, but she still ended up with over $350,000 awarded to her from this settlement. It just goes to show, as you know, if they would have properly marked it off fast enough and put a warning sign up, then this probably wouldn't have won in court. Next, speaking of some things going up here, we all know many cruise lines have come out and to try and discourage food waste, shall we say. So what they will say is that if you order, your first entree, and then you say, well, I'd like a second entree. You know what? That looks really good, but I really would like to try the chicken as well. You can order 2 entrees. But after that, there is a service fee for the 3rd and 4th and 5th entree. And so most people have accepted that. Most people would only have 2 entrees with your, plus your appetizers, plus your dessert in the main dining. Not too many people are having 3, 4, 5, 6, main course meals. So that seems to be the standard. Well, Norwegian is coming out and they've done the same thing, except they've now introduced, if you order a second entree, you will now be charged. And this has brought up some concerns from passengers saying that, wait a minute, what if I get an entree that tastes horrible, that I don't like it? It's over seasons or it's burnt, and I order something else. Am I now going to get charged because they gave me food that was, to me, unedible? I guess it's going to go by a case-by-case study. You know, if they overcooked your steak, you wanted it rare, they gave you well done, that kind of thing, will you be charged? Probably not. But if you just, you know, I want the fish and I would love the chicken, well, now you're going to pay $5 for that second entree. And it doesn't seem to be going towards appetizers or desserts. Still seems like you can order as many of those as you want. But yeah, a new dining fee that's there. And some people have actually speculated that, and I kind of laughed at this, because they say it's to kind of stop influencers. What they're talking about is people who will go on and they'll order everything on the menu so they can take a picture of it or a video of it and then eat a few bites and then just throw everything else out. I've been on 180 some cruises now. And quite literally, I see people taking pictures all the time, but I never see them ordering everything on the menu, right? If anything, they're taking pictures of their spouse or their friend's food as well, and that's about it. I don't see people ordering multiple items. And if that was the case, the charge for a third, fourth, fifth, sixth would stop that as well, right? And guess what? Some people out there would pay the money anyway, and so the $5 fee really isn't going to change too much, I don't think. But other people who were saying, yeah, this is just another example of a cruise line nickel and diming their clientele. And so there's that, I guess, right? There's that. Like I said, other cruise lines have this in place, but I don't know how many have it in place where they're charging you for the second entree at the main dining room. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think about that situation? Next, let's talk about the Discovery class. That's right, the Discovery class is the next class of ship from Royal Caribbean that's supposed to be a smaller cruise line to replace some of their smaller cruise ships that are getting up there in age and about to go out of service at some point, right? We gotta figure they're gonna start breaking down so much that they're not worth keeping anymore. Well, they have signed a contract with Fincardi now that goes all the way to 2036 now to ensure that they have prime building space for ships. Now, do you think they're gonna, like, we still don't know the design. We don't even know how many they're planning on holding on this cruise ship. Is it going to be 2,500? A lot of people are hoping for that. I think you're going to be lucky if it's closer to around 4,000 people, which would be close to the Sphere class on Princess cruise lines. Would you consider a 4,000 plus cruise ship a small cruise ship or a medium to large cruise ship, right? Some places would count that as a mega cruise ship in some of their ports. So we really don't know much about what the design's going to be yet. So yeah, again, a lot of people are hoping for 2,500. I'm guessing it'll be closer to 4. I would love to see a 3,000 or less, but I'm thinking 4. But what's being built now? Well, the Legend comes out next year, and then we have another Icon class, as yet unnamed ship coming out in 2027. And then we have another Icon class coming out in 2028. They've already ordered another Oasis class, and they have put on hold the option to purchase a 7th Icon class ship. So if you're thinking they're going to build this anytime really quickly, I think we have a long way to wait. I think we won't see actual plans for this probably until 2030, especially since they kind of just jumped into the river cruise market, and now they're building 10 ships for Celebrity's river cruise fleet. They just seem to have an awful lot on their plate, an awful lot being ordered, and I don't see too much quick movement yet on the new Discovery class. Let me know in the comments down below, how large would you like to see the new Royal Caribbean ship. Are you happy with all the mega ships? Would you like to see a new class even bigger than the Icon? Or would you really like to see it slow it down and get us some smaller ships? Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.